Hi everybody, welcome back to the sales floor. Neil Winterig with Matterhorn Business Development here. For today's talk on the sales floor, I want to talk about the characteristics of a salesman. And what I mean by that would be the attitude or personality or the way a salesperson would conduct themselves. Now, there really is no 100% answer to what the characteristics of a salesman might be or what type of a salesperson you should be. Because in all honesty, I honestly don't want anybody to be me when they go and sell something. In fact, that's something that people are sometimes scared of when I tell them I'm going to teach them how to sell. They're like, am I going to be like you? They have this idea in their mind about who they are as a person and who I am. And they're like, I could never sell like you or talk like you. And I don't want you to do that. But the truth is, every salesman has certain characteristics and certain qualities that they need to be successful. I just can't always tell you exactly what your characteristics should be because you have your own personality and the own way that you are, and I'm not going to be able to change those very quickly or easily, and I still want you to be you when you're going to sell. So what I want you to do in today's video, or your homework assignment, so to speak, on the sales floor, is I want you to think of who you would want to sell you. What type of a person or what type of a characteristics would the salesman have to sell you something? Would you want them to be nice? Would you want them to be friendly? Would you want them to be knowledgeable? What type of a characteristics or qualities would they have that would appeal to you and you think are kind of natural to you? And so what I want you to do is sit down and actually make a list and write out the characteristics of you as a salesman. So sit down and figure out what it is that makes you different or unique or makes you you while still being a salesperson. Now, as you're doing this, you might realize that either you're deficient in certain areas, or you might sit there and think, well, this characteristic that I have, is that good or is that maybe bad? That is something that you're gonna have to find out and ask for yourself. I don't want you to think that because you are naturally sort of a rough and maybe some people don't really like your personality so much, you could sit there and say that you have a chip on your shoulder and that's the way you sell. I don't think that's the right way to sell. So if you sit there and you realize, well, I'm kind of jerk, maybe that's not the right characteristic that you should have. And maybe that's a characteristic that you need to change, or maybe it's a characteristic that you need to improve upon. But by sitting down and evaluating yourself and listing out the traits and characteristics and qualities of a salesperson that you would like to sell something to you, then you can sit there and figure out what traits and characteristics you have inherently that make you different, and maybe you'll find a couple characteristics that you've forgotten about or ways that you used to sell that you've fallen away from, or you say, you know, that person sold me something and I didn't even feel like I was being sold. Maybe that's a characteristic that I need to have when I'm selling somebody else. So the characteristics of a salesman might vary from person to person. And there are a lot of very positive attributes about you that make you who you are and make you a salesperson. But I want you to actually sit down and write them out and figure out what characteristics you need to help you become more successful. And if you feel like you're deficient in an area, or there's an area of characteristics that you don't feel like are you or you can do, well then, go ahead and give me a call and let's talk about it, and we'll actually train you and help you with those areas. But this is a free exercise. This is an exercise I want you to do for yourself to start increasing your sales and figuring out what it is that makes people like you and has a good characteristic that people would make you want to buy from you. So that is my talk from the sales floor today. Visit our website, link in the description down below. Like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe, and stay up to date on the sales floor. I'll be seeing you again soon.